The steam from my morning coffee curled lazily upward, mingling with the faint chill seeping through the cracked window of my modest Seattle apartment. The Puget Sound fog clung to the skyline outside, turning the world into a muted gray canvas that matched the knot tightening in my gut. My phone buzzed harshly on the counter, Carla's name flashing like a warning. My cousin rarely called unless she had an agenda, especially not hours before Dad's 70th birthday gala at that swanky harbor restaurant. I let it ring 3 times, steeling myself before picking up. "Emily." "Darling," she cooed, her voice dripping with that fake honey she reserved for delivering barbs. "You're still planning to grace us with your presence tonight, aren't you?" "Of course," I replied flatly, stirring the dark brew as if it could drown out the undercurrent in her tone. "Wonderful. Oh, and don't forget your ID, they might be carding at the door. You know how these exclusive spots can be." The words landed like a subtle slap, implying I might not belong, might be mistaken for an outsider at my own father's table. I forced a soft chuckle, masking the slow burn inside. "Thanks for the heads up," she pressed on, her sweetness sharpening. Lydia's poured her heart into making this flawless. "Let's all play nice." It was code for, "Don't disrupt our perfect picture." I hung up, the phone heavy in my palm, as the coffee's bitterness mirrored the unease she'd sown. Family events weren't reunions, they were battlegrounds, where old wounds festered under polished smiles. Dad, Harlan Brooks, the retired tech mogul, orchestrated them like board meetings, reinforcing who held power. Lydia, my elder sister, was his golden child, ambitious, image-obsessed, climbing the corporate ladder in his shadow. Me? I derailed my law school dreams to care for Mom during her final battle with cancer, a choice Dad dismissed as flighty. Tonight wasn't celebration, it was a stage. And Carla's call was the curtain rising on their act. By evening, the salty breeze off Elliott Bay nipped at my skin as I approached the restaurant's glowing facade. Inside, crystal chandeliers cast warm halos over mahogany tables, but the air felt thick with unspoken judgments. At the host's stand, I gave my name, Emily Brooks, for the Harlan party. The hostess scanned her tablet, her polite smile faltering. "Ah, here you are." She handed over a name tag. "Guest. No surname. No recognition, just a blank slate erasing my place in the lineage." The sting pierced deeper than a shout. It was deliberate invisibility. Before I could question it, Lydia swept in, her designer dress shimmering like armor. "Must be a glitch," she said breezily, snatching the tag and handing it back unchanged. Her eyes flicked to mine with a flicker of triumph before she vanished into the crowd. Whispers followed me, guests murmuring, their glances laced with pity or curiosity. 2 of Dad's former colleagues blocked my path, chuckling. "You the mystery date tonight?" one joked. "His daughter," I corrected calmly, watching their awkward recovery. The seating chart confirmed the slight, my spot exiled to a corner table by the kitchen doors, far from the family's orbit. It wasn't oversight, it was exile. A quiet message that I didn't fit their narrative. I sat, the ocean view taunting me through a narrow pane. As laughter erupted from the center, Dad and Lydia basking in adoration. My Uncle Marcus texted, eyes sharp. "This is prelude." I pocketed my phone, resolve hardening like ice. They expected me to crumble or lash out. Instead, I'd observe, letting the hurt fuel a silent tally. The microphone's feedback sliced the chatter, drawing eyes to Dad at the head table. He stood tall in his tailored suit, exuding the charisma that built his empire. "Thank you all for being here," he began warmly, reminiscing about deals closed and legacies forged. Then came the pivot, praise for Lydia's unwavering drive in steering the family investments, nods to nephew's achievements. His gaze skimmed mine. "And Emily, Our wanderer. Always chasing dreams instead of building them. The room tittered, framing my sacrifices as whimsy, ignoring the hospice vigils. The grief that reshaped me. The laughter clawed at old scars. But I sipped water steadily. Face impassive. Truth twisted into jest was their weapon. My silence was mine. Beside me, a distant aunt leaned in sympathetically. That must have been tough. Caring for your mom. I shared sparingly the exhaustion. The love that made it bearable, watching her expression soften from the group's scripted tale. Lydia noticed, her smile tightening across the room. Plates arrived. But the undercurrent grew. Carla huddled with cousins, their glances darting my way like arrows. Dad ignored me entirely. His alliance is clear. Marcus's text buzzed, building their case. Hold. I did. Mapping every slight. The pain coiling tighter. Promising release. Against the far wall. A display table gleamed under spotlights, photos of Dad's triumphs. Awards. Mementos. Center stage, the antique watch I'd gifted him upon retirement. Engraved with Mom's favorite quote. The plaque read, from Lydia. Theft in plain sight. My gesture reassigned to her glory. Rage simmered. But I stayed seated as Lydia paraded a guest past it, basking in false praise. A server murmured, Mr. Brooks requests family gifts now. I approached, handing over the custom leather portfolio I'd crafted, filled with digitized family archives from Mom's era. He opened it briefly, then shut it with a patronizing grin. Keep this for your hobbies, Emily. Dismissal echoed in the hush, heat flooding my face. But I retreated composed, the rejection etching deeper into my resolve. Marcus murmured as he passed, layers upon layers. Wait for the crack. I catalogued it all, the tag, the speech, the theft, each erasure fueling a fire I banked for later. Dessert menus circulated. But tension thickened. Dad whispered to Lydia, Carla showing them a phone screen. Smirks spreading. Marcus texted, incoming storm. Brace. Dad tapped his glass, commanding silence. A toast, he announced, eyes locking mine with cold precision. To those who contribute. And to freeloaders who drain us, they belong curbside. Not here. Gasps rippled. Some laughs uncertain. Pitying glances my way. The word freeloader sliced like betrayal's blade, reframing my devotion as parasitism. Lydia chuckled lightly, diffusing with charm. But the damage lingered. A family photo call followed. I was cropped out, their core captured without me. Pain twisted into fury. But I smiled faintly, slipping away to overhear Carla and Lydia by the bar check the file, her debts highlighted. On her phone, a forged ledger listed me as owing thousands. Amateur but insidious. My phone lit with a group chat meme, a lounging figure captioned, living off family vibes for a decade, emojis from cousins. Lydia's smirk emoji sealing it. Public shaming. Digital daggers. Marcus appeared, fuel. Not fire yet. We plotted whispers, who to trust. Who laughed. I noted every complicit face. The betrayal's weight pressing, but sharpening my edge. As goodbyes swirled. Dad cornered me publicly. You've shamed us enough. Emily. You're cut off, no more access to the house. Savara, Lydia, nodded smugly. I countered calmly. Mom's inheritance ties me there legally. Murmurs spread. Uncertainty flickering. Marcus slipped me a paper, a contract for a family cabin sale. My signature forged absent, illegal under Washington law. Leverage. Solid. I addressed the onlookers. Now we all see the lines drawn. Lydia deflected with laughs. But the air shifted. Outside. The harbor's chill cleared my head. An unknown text, more proof coming. The night morphed from endurance to strategy. Scars demanding reckoning. Rain drummed the next morning. Notifications piling, pity texts from fringes. Silence from core. An email, cease and desist from Dad's lawyers. Accusing defamation. Laughter bubbled. Then chilled, this was fear masked as threat. I forwarded to Marcus, their panic. A cousin I'd confided in ghosted. His socials showing a sudden escape. Isolation stung. But clarified, no illusions. I spread evidence on the table, screenshots. Deeds. The contract like a prosecutor's board. The unknown sender zip chat logs. Lydia directing exclusions. Dad approving. Arrogance documented. I met Amelia, my PR-savvy friend, in a Belltown cafe. Timeline is key, she advised. Drop when they're exposed. Plans formed, legal timing with gatherings. Quiet alliances. Letters drafted to waverers. Facts unemotional. Marcus called, they're convening tomorrow without you. Then I'll crash, I replied. The coil snapping toward explosion. The community hall's fluorescent hum greeted me, envelope in hand. Dad. Lydia. Carla entered, freezing at my presence. I handed it, read this, your actions. Your words. Boundary set, no contact until addressed. Their faces paled, I walked out. Ache easing into empowerment. Marcus reported, rattled. Another unknown text. They're plotting, I'm inside. Opportunity ignited. Unannounced at the waterfront hotel meeting. I claimed a seat. Discussing futures? Include me. Folder slid, evidence narrated. Voices stilled. Envelopes to elders with drives, full picture. Dad snapped, twisting lies. Your signatures, I countered. Murmurs turned to scrutiny. I stood, attorney next. To Dad, you said I don't belong, right? I've outgrown your cage. Outside. Marcus grinned, crown toppled. Unknown text, what now? Harbor lights gleamed, I'd build anew. Their empire crumbling under truth's weight. The price? My silence broken. Scars healed in fire.